For some weird reason, OBS doesn't like this game for the first, like, 3 seconds or so. But yes, we are playing Sonic CD. We're playing the PC Steam version. There was another PC version, by the way. There was one for Windows in, like, the actual 90s. But the version that I'm playing on Steam is from, like, 2011. It was released on, also, I believe, PS3 and Xbox 360 through digital distribution means, obviously. And this is probably my favorite Sonic game from the Genesis era. Or, well, just from the classic era in general. Little Ogilvy CD, right? Oh, yeah. Ogilvy the Hedgehog CD is what you said. I realized, oh shit, I forgot to leave my game capture under the browser, so I just went and fixed that there. Oh, see now it says exclamation title. My eyesight is not what it used to be, and that's in tiny text. I sound like I'm turning into an old man. I kind of am in a way, I guess. So one of the cool things about this version of Sonic CD, hey folks, to everybody, I get a bunch of people coming from other sites. This is cool. So the cool thing about this is you can switch between the Japanese and US soundtracks well, they were originally Japanese and US soundtracks. Obviously, the distinction is kind of gone now, right? I feel they each have their merits. I'm probably gonna do I guess I will do the Japanese soundtrack. Just to... because I feel I have a very US-centric audience, so some of them might not have heard it back in the day. I don't remember what the old PC version had. Probably the region-appropriate one. But let's go ahead and get... The US soundtrack is full of some really weird stuff. That's the main thing I can remember. Hey, what is up to everybody who is in the audience? We don't have any save files because I just reinstalled this like a couple days ago, I guess. Let's get in here. We got Sonic. We can't play as Tails right now until we beat the game on this file. But Tails is just kind of an easy mode, so that's fine too. Let's watch the cutscene, which they took the vocals out of the music in both versions, I think. Which is quite unfortunate, but that was done for copyright reasons. But I love this really old school animation style. It's very nostalgic for obvious reasons, because I'm, like, old. I say this, I'm pretty sure everybody in the audience, except for Credence, is older than I am. Credence revealed on one of my streams a couple of weeks ago that he's like 2 months younger than me, so. But the point is that, like, everybody probably can recognize that this is super nostalgic, right? This old, I even feel like it's very 80s style. Lethal coming in here. Crazy kids, yeah, sure, like you're like a trillion years old. Back before Sonic got kind of. There was always a bit of an edge to Sonic a little bit, but it did sort of get stronger with the 2000s, and it became a very, well, a thing. So, the first thing is that the naming conventions in this are a little weird. There is no zones or acts. I think that the things that are usually called zones, like as opposed to being Palm Tree Panic Zone, this is like Palm Tree Panic Act or something, and it's round 1 to start with. Also, I gotta remember that only the analog sticks work on my Disc 1 zone. For the purposes of controlling this with the PS4 controller, only the analog sticks work for this, I think, because of the program I'm using. And, yeah, we're going pretty fast here. This level is just kind of a basic Sonic level where it's like this goes really ridiculously fast. And we've got these signposts hanging out places that say past and future. There's sort of a time travel aspect to this game. And to engage with that, we have to go extremely fast, and it will teleport us to different versions of the zones. Like, if we go to the future, it's, like, not particularly pleasant. But if we go to the past, first of all, we get a more Sega-style sound chip song. Which, those are obviously based on the songs in the Japanese version, so they sound really weird in the US in the US soundtrack, because it's like, what are these songs? But also, there is a machine in each of those that Dr. Robotnik has built that we can destroy in order to save the future of each of these areas. I'm pretty much just going to be playing through this just straightforward. This is a bit of an unwinding stream for me because I've hit everything except for stream on 7 days out of a block of 30 days for becoming a Twitch affiliate. So I want to do something nice and quick. And I didn't have another game ready. Oh, hi, Amy Rose. I just scrolled you off screen. That's rude. There's special stages at the end of these stages, just like Sonic 1. You don't think you've ever gotten Perfect Future in all zones? I don't believe I have either, but maybe I have. I cannot remember. But the special stages in Sonic CD, these are a little weird. Like, special stages in Sonic games always are kind of funky, but I am super bad at these. I'm doing okay now, but I think it's because this game is in native 16:9 in this version, whereas obviously in the original it was 4:3. So everything is a little bit fucked up. But it's, you run forward constantly, you go left and right to turn, and you want to hit these 7 UFOs in order to get what's not a Chaos Emerald in this game, but a Time Stone, I believe. Yeah, it's got a very F-Zero kind of... Ow, I just stepped on a thing that bit me, basically. I mean, look at that. I just missed that. What's the... Bad acid trip. Yeah, it kind of does. Somebody said F-Zero. Yeah, it's got a very Mode 70 look to it. And, yes, if you end up in the water, it burns through your timer up there really fast. That's sort of our lifespan here, is the timer. So rings don't actually matter. If we have 0, we land on one of those weird bitey death pits over there, it'll just slow us down. Am I supposed to get this one instead? Oh no, that's just time. Okay. Thank you, game. I forgot that was a thing. But you can sort of end up in purgatory with that. Also, yeah, we got the backgrounds from, oh god. Greens, Pliz. Bliss. PLS. And we got a Time Stone. Yes, that is actually correct. And yeah, I know the chat box on the right doesn't look too great. Original stone, dude. But I am kind of doing this on a bit of, like I said, I didn't know what else to do. I didn't have anything in mind. I absolutely will change that. I've got some things I want to play here. And I know somebody really wants me to play BioShock, so I gotta do that for him at some point. Because, well, I said I would, and I do love the original BioShock. Yeah, Sonic is just so easy to pick up and play, right? Well, at least the originals. Some of the later ones are too. But I admit that, like a lot of people, I kind of fell off on the series sometime after Adventure 2. But also that did kind of coincide, well, first of all, with me having this period when I was an early teenager, like, I hate everything I liked as a kid. It was not a rational thing that I came to. It was just me being a dumb edgelord teenager, like, oh no, I'm not a child anymore. I have to be into different things. People go through that when they're adults too. On the other hand, as I started to get older, I just went back to everything I loved as a child. And of course, the other half of it is coinciding with not having any money. So, I haven't really gotten around to catching up to a lot of the classic games, and Sonic Mania is really good though. That was like a big birthday present for me a couple of years ago, was the limited edition with the Sonic statue for PS4. I was like, what console? I only have a PS4 and a Switch out of current generation consoles. Sonic Mania, though, is actually kind of hard in places. There's a lot of just subversion of what you would come to expect from a Sonic game. It is very, very odd as Sonic titles go. So I don't entirely blame anybody who's like, I can't beat it. I game over... I think I game overed like 10 times or something in a row to that Oil Ocean boss. That thing is just monstrous. And this does have a very weird feel to it at times when you're trying to avoid time traveling, because you gotta slow down a little bit. That sounds about right. We had that sort of... and we also had the edgy part where we were like that about people who weren't like us. And then I turned into an adult and realized, oh man, I am super, super not straight myself sometimes. Decidedly not the straight cis man I thought I was when I was 16. No, I turned out to not be that. I'm not gonna say the opposite. That's clearly not exactly true, and there's no such thing as... I don't think that's a place where you can say opposite or anything. Yeah, what exactly is up with this? Also, since we're on Act 3, Round 3 or whatever, Zone 3, yeah, I think I said it wrong, that it's zones for the numbered stages and rounds for the locations in this game, for some reason. But what exactly happened here? Also, it's an Act 3, so we're forced into the future and we have a boss. And this boss is a complete chump. Because bosses in this game are 3 hits instead of 8. And basically, it's just get to the right side of the screen and this one's free. If you're not over there, it's a kind of hard boss because those bumper hands are not the easiest thing to deal with. Green's not entirely wrong here. I'll give you guys a little more of the boss music. I'll be a little quieter when that comes up next time, because the boss music in the Japanese soundtrack is like one of my favorite things. Hi, Amy Rose. Oh god, it's Metal Sonic, and Metal Sonic doesn't have a hitbox. At least for now. We can do nothing about that, so, They are kind of trying to put a little bit of plot into the game itself. Like, I know people don't really have a strong opinion on Amy Rose, but it's also because Amy Rose was badly written. Let's not kid ourselves. Sonic games are not, like, they're not literary powerhouses. So that's gonna happen, and on top of that, well, let's not get too deep into the female characters are usually terribly written things. Oh, Metal Sonic in Sonic Mania is a pretty complicated fight. I will definitely have to bust out Sonic Mania at some point, and I will show that to everybody. Oh! I legitimately am realizing I don't remember where to go here. Sonic Forces. Well, I think you found your first problem there. It's Sonic Forces. Isn't Sonic Forces like 3 hours or less? I'm not gonna say that it's necessarily a bad game, but it's more like it's so... There's so little to it, right? It's very, very short. And I'll hit the past. Let's see if we can go into the past here. No. As you might have seen, the little indicator down there does flicker. Oh. Greens, you're thinking of Sonic Dreams Collection. Are we allowed to mention that on Twitch? Are we allowed to play that on Twitch? I'm sure we're allowed to mention it on Twitch. I'm sure I've said worse. Just bringing up Sonic Dreams Collection. What a thing that is. I forgot what my point was. Oh God. I'm glad that everybody is getting in. Get in the hole. Come on, Sonic. I've forgotten what I was gonna say. Oh right, the time travel thing. If you don't keep up the speed after you start going, once the little indicator starts flickering, you will lose your chance and you'll have to find another signpost. But we get to time travel back into the past here. Greens, no. Excuse me 1 second. Oh, wow, I set the controller down and won the level. Classy. Whoops. I was like, oh, it's terrible in here. Let me try and do something about that, because it's not terribly hot out today, but my room is very, very warm, which is a thing I've mentioned before. As I've joked to my family repeatedly, it's because it's closer to hell. They at least are able to be amused by it. I'm sure somebody would tell me not to say things like that about myself, but at least I'm going to be the one who can judge, right? This time we may actually be able to spend some time in the past. This is a pretty complicated bit of sound font for being based on the Genesis sound hardware. This isn't exactly the same as the actual Sonic CD. I unfortunately have never played the actual version of Sonic CD on Sega CD. Sadly, the one time that I had a chance to get hold of a Sega CD, the guy told me that he wanted $70 for it, and I was like, okay, I'll get it, and he told me after that he had misinterpreted what I was going to say, what I had said, rather. He misinterpreted what I'd said and thought that I was asking him how much he paid for it when he purchased it, and instead that he wanted to sell it for $110. And we just broke a hologram of Metal Sonic, whose name I forgot. Metal Sonic, whose actual name is Timothy. And so that soured my mood a little bit, but I do still want to get a Sega CD at some point when I have money. And somebody explained to me how to do video stuff with Fusion properly, so I may be able to actually play Sega CD games through that. Okay, it's the same as the version on Sega CD. Alright. Just thinking, this is, like, pretty heavy, because I'm pretty sure, well, heavy is not the right word, but maybe in a technical sense. Because this sounds a little deep, I guess, in terms of sound font use for the sound chip in the original Sega Genesis, which I think is what all the past music in Sonic CD used. Which is pretty clever if that's the case. Mega Drive on live support. Yeah, that was an era that was very, very difficult with regard to console choice. I mean, I have a strong personal opinion about the PS1, and we had an N64 at the time. But, like, between the NES, the N64, and the Sega Saturn, I don't know that the libraries in general were that great, but the N64 did have some really fun games that are very nostalgic. I'm just really bad at 3D platformers, though, so either way, that's going to be a bit of a weird time for console games for me. I do love some Banjo-Kazooie though. That's a pretty good time. I'm gonna have to play Banjo-Kazooie at some point on this stream. And then I can cry in Rusty Bucket Bay. Yeah, getting games for the Sega Saturn is... Oh, wow, I got comboed there. Nice. Sega Saturn... Did I actually say Rusty Bucket Bay, or is that just how my voice sounds? Oh, that's entirely fair, too. Star Fox is a very interesting series. And this boss coming up sucks, but at least this music is rad, so... Again, I'll give you guys a little bit of a chance to listen to that, because it's really great in this version. Not that it's not great in the US soundtrack, but this one... And by give you guys a chance to listen to it, I should have turned the sound effects off or something. I have a copy of the actual song that this samples somewhere on my computer, and I feel like I should just put that on in a stream and watch myself get banned from Twitch. Ow. Give me the one up. Yeah, I really like this boss theme, and yes, this entire boss fight is just a pinball table where Robotnik does nothing until we get over here and we get an easy win. I've seen a... Wow! Jesus, dude, that is like next level of getting screwed. Wow. Anyway, I saw a speedrun of somebody playing that boss and doing it like instantly, and I am still, to this day, not sure how. Oh, also, one of the things that I think a lot of people like about this game, it doesn't have that drowning music. In fact, let's just stand... Oh, I was gonna say, let's just stand here, because it'll take forever for the bubble to show up, probably. It did not. It actually... It was like, that's what you get for talking, buddy. Skip that. Let's start drowning. So you can hear the lack of drowning music. Yeah, see, we were getting a countdown there, but we were not getting drowning music. It's kind of nice. It might be a little too subtle for some people, because of course the drowning music does just make you go, oh no! Also, look at me just ignoring half of this level. Whoops. But I know a lot of other people, that music stresses them out. I actually hit upon a point where it was just like, oh, this is absolutely hilarious to me in the game. And then I set it as the sound for my alarm clock, and it scared the hell out of me. So I 100% understand why anybody would be like, that's the most terrifying sound ever. But it did wake me up, so it did its job. Hard boil at this point, no panic when asphyxiating. I mean, did you see him running up that giant chain at the start of the game? That does involve a little bit of... I don't even remember how you get that ring box. Now that I've seen that, that's gonna stay with me for a while. I'll start playing another game like FF9 or something. I'll just be like, how the hell do you get that ring box in Title Tempest? Incidentally, all of the level names in this game have a very Donkey Kong Country style to them, where they're all alliterative. And I genuinely love that. It's very weird for a Sonic game, but it's still pretty good. Ow! I couldn't even see those. Come on! That's just rude. Ignore the future sign. We've got some crushy platforms here. They kind of look like the cylinder blocks from Labyrinth Zone, I believe. But I guess, in a way, you could say that all of this game's levels are just retreads of ones from Sonic 1. Like, earlier we had the Palm Tree Panic, which is kind of like Green Hill, and Collision Chaos is a bit like Spring Yard. Also, I like how I stopped it before I faded out from the time travel all the way. And this song is pretty great. Getting hit by one of those is not. But hooray, we did not save all of Aquatic Ambience, Tidal Tempest. We did not save all the level. Also, we're stuck in the past. It's not unusual, though. But this is a nice chill track. It's pretty good. It's odd that this is, like, my favorite in this entire game soundtrack. This area is looping. I just realized, oh my god, I'm looping. This really is Labyrinth Zone. Okay, I don't 100% know how to crank that again, so we'll come back to that later. Let's try to not get squished this time. That seems like just a very good rule for life. Let's try not to get squished this time, but especially in this case. Bubble, please. Okay, this area is not looping. If there was a... Come on. This is worse than me trying to get on a platform by swapping boots in the water temple. Oh, I gotta put those up on YouTube. I actually have to do a little bit of work on the second stream of OOT Randomizer to remove a few places where I accidentally showed parts of Discord in a web browser. And a web browser, not in a web browser. Although that is the thing you could do. I keep getting distracted from what I want to say. I was going to say something about how weird it would be for there to be a horizontal square scrolling area. Also, I just noticed that the text changed. Sonic made a good future in Zone 2. That is a thing I forgot was a thing. Unfortunately, the overall future refused to change. This is a place where the US soundtrack is better than this one, though, because the US version of the Tidal Tempest Bad Future theme is really disturbing. It's a better idea than this, which is kind of, I don't know, I've heard something like this before is all. Alright. We've got a boss to chase. No, I'm doing it too. I'm going too fast. Right, come here, Doc. Invincibility, that'll help me be less of a doofus. Alright, so now we have to chase Robotnik to a certain point and the real boss fight begins. Also, because I did not mention it, from what I've been told, in every boss level, in every Zone 3, there are exactly 100 rings. Okay, so this is basically just an air bubble version of that one boss from Metropolis Zone, I think. Yeah. Ow. You'll notice that the bosses in this game are extremely gimmicky compared to a lot of other 2D Sonic. Whoops. I thought I could get past that. I could not. Overconfidence will be the death of me. And if it's against an Iron Knuckle, it'll be the death of me twice. Hey, I got it without taking all the bubbles. Nice. Alright, we are moving on to Zone 4, Quartz Quadrant. This is sort of like the marble zone of this game, but without the lava. Just from the overall stage theme of, like, being made of a specific kind of rock, basically. And our big theme here is conveyor belts, the word for which I forgot. For a second, anyway. So, this is a pretty good level for going really fast. I can beat this one in under a minute if I try. Well, I could. I haven't played this game in many a year, so I may not be able to anymore. I should pick it back up and, like, learn the speedrun or something. Because speedrunning is sort of the cool thing to do on Twitch, right? Everybody speedruns or already has a huge audience to begin with. Credence. Who also does speedrunning occasionally, so... When Credence complains, he knows what he's talking about. Also, considering the time travel element, I suppose this is Sonic the Hedgehog Link to the Past, isn't it? So, maybe you should learn this one. The credenza. That is a phrase. Thank you, Lethal, for using the same joke that I do. Oh yeah, this stumped me on how to properly time travel to the past for a very long time. I still gotta remember to put all the rest of this FFC emotes in here. Those Pac-Man 2 expressions are classic, so the fact that I don't have those in here is kind of a personal failing. Turn around. Alright, snap out of it. There we go. Spike snail. I mean, it's speedrunning. I think that useful is a very, very nebulous concept. With, again, due respect to speedrunners in this audience who would, like, take offense to that. Because it sounds like I'm saying that all speedrunning is useless. I mean, it's another way to play the game. I'm not going to complain about that, but... I am going to make some jokes about how incredibly silly it probably is in retrospect. Like, when we were kids, did any of us think we would be doing stuff like that? And the boss coming up here, I am very aware, by the way, of just how much I start sentences with and, or just and in general, or prepositions. I must be making some English teacher out there extremely upset. Or at least in sort of a disturbance in the force kind of way. Also, yeah, we have the original spin dash in this game, but we can switch to, there was a different one in the original Sonic CD. We can switch to that if we want to. And I'm doing this boss wrong already. So here we've got sort of a treadmill setup. We have to just run at Dr. Robotnik until the bottom of the thing he's standing in just breaks. And we have to dodge these explosives that are being dropped at us. Well, I mean, being a teacher is really cool. I would like to be a teacher if only it, like, paid decently in America. It's sort of that's the problem, is that, not to be, like, super greedy, oh, I want money, I would like to be able to live, you know? I'd like to be able to have hobbies and live in something that's not either my family's house or a cardboard box, and to be able to pay off my student loans. But teachers don't really get a lot of respect in the US except on a personal level. That's, well, more in the sense of, like, from specific people as opposed to in the only specific teachers that sounds like I'm suggesting there. And not to get too political in the middle of Sonic the Hedgehog of all games, but education is very badly underfunded in the States, is what I'm trying to say. Oh, that doesn't sound too bad then. The getting political in the middle of a Sonic stream just makes me think of the H-Bomber Guy video. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that one in particular. I've probably linked it in, like, every single group where there's people watching this. The one where he's pretending to act like, oh, it's this super deep thing, and how that's just kind of the joke. Where he's shirtless and covered in blue paint. That's a description to send to people. And this level is kind of like Starlight Zone, except it is a big pain in the butt. Wacky Workbench is well, it's pretty wacky, I'll tell you that. And, like, everything's a death trap, and we haven't even seen the wires yet. I do love the sound effect when you hit that jump floor, though. Whoa! It's so good. Yeah, I'm hoping for the Sonic 2 video, although that may have just been, like, kind of an extended joke, but I hope it wasn't. I do genuinely have fun with a lot of stuff like that. Also, wow, I forgot how strong the flashing was here. I wonder if that's, like, toned down from the era, too, because, of course, people are a lot more conscious of stuff that would cause photosensitive responses, e.g. epileptic seizures. Especially now that we live in an era where Electric Soldier Porygon has been a thing. Although I think that I'm having a little bit of trouble here, in case you hadn't noticed. Like, if I remember correctly, the thing that caused the seizures in Den-O Senshi Porygon was actually Pikachu's electric attack, whatever it was that it was using in that episode, flashing so strongly. And the company had used effects of that type before, the strobing effects. But, of course, it does kind of end up as, like, well, they can't really say, hey, let's never have the mascot in this show ever again. So, Porygon had to take the hit. Okay, yeah, it was zapping a missile. Alright. It's been many years. I say many years, and I actually think I looked it up, like, a couple of months ago for a reason that I forget entirely. But it's definitely been many years since I've seen it, which is quite unfortunate. I'm also kind of sad that they never like, just tried to fix it or something, or reduce it in the US and show it over here. Maybe it just became so infamous that, like, the idea of doing that would not go over very well. Like, they've never shown the Jinx episode since then either, because I think they even have, like, edits of that ready for the fixed, well, redone design of Jinx that doesn't look like it did. And I did not remember that thing there. Oh! Come on. This is, I'm getting a little distracted here. But this act, zone, I guess, rather, is definitely introducing a lot more, like, weird mechanized objects and stuff. And we're getting to see the full brunt of how bad these wires can be. Yeah, that's true too. Like, certainly I'm not expecting to see an unedited version of Holiday Hijinks ever released, or Electric Soldier Porygon, even in some sort of, like, historical context, which would probably be the soonest place to see it, but there absolutely is that. And yeah, Song of the South, that's another thing I haven't thought about in a while. We're just getting all of these out here today. Hey, we finished the level with 0 rings. That's not necessarily a great thing, but it happened. We didn't die, that's the important part. The boss here, this boss is pretty tough, if I remember right. But we gotta get there first. Which means more flashy floors. And this pretty cool remix of what I thought was already a really cool song. Like, as these sort of intense Bad Future themes go, this is real good. Oh, stop that! I don't know how to get to that shield. No! No! Get in there! Ah! And here we are. Alright, here come some rocks. And not those ones. Those ones. Oh! Ow. These are gonna jump again, right? Yes, they are. Crap, crap, crap. This is gonna be... I'm stuck! This is very much not supposed to happen. Again. Apparently get burned in the process. This is definitely the worst I've ever played this boss, and I'm counting the times that I've died. Which obviously haven't been these ones, but yeah. Alright, here comes some spikes this time. Ow. Yeah, that boss is a lot easier than I made it look. I'll say that right now for anybody who's never played this game. That boss is nowhere near that hard. I just was doing very bad. I'm gonna call it performance anxiety. I'm also gonna call it sweating straight into my eyeball and feeling it burn. Because as I've said before, my room is extremely warm. And we get Stardust Speedway. This is pretty much everybody's favorite zone from this game. Kind of the... Well, what, did I say that... Well, I guess maybe this is more the Starlight Zone, so... Wacky Workbench would be something new then? Guess, whatever. I've screwed up my thing where I was like, oh, these are all kind of very closely related to zones in the original game. And this is where we get like voice samples in the background of the past music, which is again pretty impressive for the Genesis sound chip. Not that the Genesis sound chip couldn't really do. Oh god, here's Alan dropping dicks right into my channel. Giant rainbow swear words. They are definitely the biggest mood in any sort of stream. We got like lightning bugs with light bulb butts too. So this is just getting real weird. Rainbow Richards. That is a sentence, sir, is all I can say. I can't go and find the thing. Well, again, good thing I'm not doing 100% run here. Come through. Hey. That's a nice short level. You can do that a lot faster. The Stardust Speedway Zone is definitely one that I'm sure people... Thanks, Alan. I love the fact that everybody's like, I want to pay money to make you play worse. Maybe I gotta get into like something competitive too, just to make it even better. Just, oh god, can I ignore my followers throwing 1 cent at me in the middle of this game of Dota? Pay me money to... Credence, that doesn't sound too bad, except for the fact that I'm pretty sure that gas money for me to get out there would kind of invalidate that. So unless literally there's going to be a Plastic Allen community house in the middle of Oklahoma or something, that might be a bit of a no-go. However, that is, I believe, what they consider the entrepreneurial spirit in this country. Pay people to do shit you don't want to do so you don't have to. However, correct me if I'm wrong, or don't, it's up to you. I'm not your mom. Start a cult. Wow. You're really going in on this, aren't you? You strange fellow. Oh boy. I'd like to apologize for anybody that I may have scared off with any conversations about what's happening to me. Also, the music in this level is absolutely rad. This is probably my favorite in the game, and I may have misspoken earlier when I said otherwise. And yeah, the Bad Future theme for this level plays no matter which version of the future you have in the race against Metal Sonic, which we're doing right now. Ow. And he does that. This is probably going to take a couple of times for me to not mess up. It's not so much a real race, you're just kind of trying to get the hell away from Dr. Robotnik's big laser back there, which is still chasing us. But it's always been described as a race, so that's what I'm going with. It's a race in spirit. There's something else much like that. Oh, he's getting close. I am doing this badly, but I might still get away with it yet. Credence, please. You've seen how well that works in Legend of Zelda. Do I mind explaining the time travel mechanic? I will get to that in just a second. Let me save Amy Rose here. And during the middle of this, the time travel mechanic is that... In fact, I'll pause at the Actually, can I pause here? No, I can't. The time travel mechanic. Give me just a second here. This song is pretty great too. All right, pause. The time travel mechanic. So there are signposts set up throughout each of the levels. Oh God, Credence, please. Please, no, I don't want to think about that phrase. That's, Sonic is not in my list of things there, and this is getting a little. If I say the words, this stream will get a little too 18+ for Twitch's taste. I think this might be a bad time for that. The time travel mechanic. There are signposts set up in each of the levels. Aside from the Act 3 levels, you start in the present. Move to Plexstorm. This guy, I don't even know what the hell you're talking about. So when you touch a signpost, you just have to start running and build up some speed, and once you go fast enough for long enough, you switch into a different version of the level. In the past, there's a little hologram machine that usually has a Metal Sonic hologram near it, that if you destroy all of those in all of the past versions of the acts of a particular zone, and yes, I'm using the nomenclature acts and zone, even though that's not what this game uses, it will give you a good future for the last stage. And of course, if you smash all the machines and you go to the future of that stage, you get a good future as well. So sort of the goal to get the 100%, as it were, ending is to generate a good future everywhere. If you go into the future when you haven't done that, it's a bad future in that case. I guess there's such a thing as a neutral future, but they don't exist in this game. And the good future doesn't have enemies in it, if I remember correctly. So it's kind of your reward for doing it is you get to hang out in a stage with no enemies. No, it doesn't remove bosses from the Act 3 stages if you get a good future in a zone. Alternately, you can just do special stages and get all of the time zones, which are totally not Chaos Emeralds. And that gives you a good future for the rest of the game. I don't believe I've ever done that, though, because I suck at those bonus stages. I've gotten pretty close, though. Alright, let's get back to it and round this off. That's the thing I don't remember at all. And we got these weird rhinoceros beetles with buzzsaws in their horns. Yeah. So shoutouts to very difficult to understand vocals. Yeah, I mean, it's a Sonic the Hedgehog game. In particular, it's a classic Sonic the Hedgehog game. Looks more like 2 than 3, you say. I think it was released around the time that Sonic 2 was released. Maybe not, I might be wrong about that. And I really suck with these weird spinning blade dudes. I don't know what they're called. They're like some sort of rod with pointy, flashy things on them. And as I said, there's sort of an analog in most of the stages to Sonic 1, oddly. Even though it's definitely set up more Sonic 2-ish. Okay, yeah, it was released before even Sonic 2 then. How about that? Shoutouts to Raspberry Drink giving us a little bit of Sonic history. I admit that I'm not a Sonic historian. I know a bizarre amount of history about a lot of subjects, but Sonic is not one of them. Not because I don't like it or anything, I really do, but it's just, like, I'm just bad at it. You watch way too many video game videos. That will certainly do it, so I can understand that. I need to get back to, like, video making and stuff, too, at some point. But I really, really wanted to finish this off and get close enough to, well, get to the point where I can tell Twitch, hey, let me accept money from people who get it from ads. Oh, wait, that barely happens anymore, because I think all their ad contracts died at the beginning of the year, and then they didn't get any more. Although I feel if I was a company that was choosing who to advertise with, somebody with Caleb Hart involved, or some of the other streamers, I'd be a little hard-pressed to be, yeah, that sounds like fun. It could be worse. It could be worse. PewDiePie could be a big deal here, right? Oh, really? I did not know about that. That's interesting. That's really cool. Man, I knew Sonic 2 was a big deal, but I didn't know it was that big of a deal. Like, I know that there is sort of this... Like, I know that Dragon Quest is a huge deal in Japan, and that has had some cultural impact as well. Sonic Tuesday, nice. Yeah, I definitely remember Tuesday being the day that a lot of stuff came out. I got... Oh, here's one of the... That's one of the bomb things from Starlight Zone, but really big, so maybe this is kind of styled like Starlight Zone. Although it's got more of a Metropolis feel to it. And Scrap Brain, which is kind of Metropolis 0.5. And a little bit of Labyrinth Zone, because why not? There's a section, I don't remember when it is, but there is definitely something pretty interesting in this level. Ow. Just disdain the rest of the... Yeah, there's where the setup is, I think. Ow. I did not drift over that properly. That's okay. Oh. These things are sort of, yeah, they kind of act like bumpers if you hit them when they're rolled up. Okay, how does this operate? Like this. Sometimes Sonic games slow down and it's a little weird, but it's okay. Not too long. It's not like riding the blocks in Marble Zone, which always kind of bugged me. And now we are Tiny Sonic for some reason. I don't know why this is here, but okay. I'm not gonna complain. I actually... The sprite's kind of cute. But man, Tiny Sonic's head is gigantic. What is this, Bonk? Ah, Bonk, what a series. Especially Super Bonk, because I don't know much about the rest of the Bonk games. This is a really hard... This is... There we go. Yeah, I like it. It's a strange inclusion, but I don't mind. Ah. Okay. Do I can't get up there from the spring. Gotcha. Yeah, how is this one jump so hard? And this one I'm just doing bad. Come on, this is... Get on the edge. The edge. Apparently not. Let's do the super peel out real quick. I haven't gotten to show that off. Okay, so we had to angle to the right. I had the right idea, but I was doing it in the wrong direction. Bypass these things. It isn't that much like Bonk where you can get squished by a wall and transform. Grab Sonic would be really weird. And this, I think, is just a loop back. Whoops. I forgot that is a thing in this. That's... Ow. Well, I think I deserved that. I spent this much time on that section. Seeing the clock go down will make me feel better. And again, you can tell I really don't remember a lot of these parts of the game. The last level and the final boss are pretty rough, though. I do remember those. And we'll get to see those in probably a few minutes. Because this level is not short. I mean, it's about as short as most Sonic levels. You have a 10-minute upper time limit for Sonic games. Well, 2D ones anyway. In 3D, there's quite a few levels that just really push the ability for you to beat them in 10 minutes at all. Shoutouts to Crazy Gadget from Sonic Adventure 2 for being the worst damn thing that you play as Sonic for. I'm pretty sure that's not true, but it's, that level is definitely a thing, is all I can say for sure. Get the rest of those rings. Don't go left, or don't go right, go left. Alright, there's a bomb. Speed shoe. And we turn back into regular Sonic. Get in the hole. Take the bank mailing tube, buddy. I know that the speed shoes make it really hard for you to get anywhere, but still. And then we get this part at the end. Like, you're clearly supposed to... Also, I just saw that platform just basically fade into existence. You're supposed to wait for more of those to stack up, but I don't feel like doing that. I'm just gonna take the... I'll take the quick way. I'll take the quick way. Ooh. And now we've got the last level of the game, Metallic Madness Zone 3. With a laughing Robotnik in the background because it's the bad future. There's a couple of different routes through this, and I just took the one that leads us through more of the spike floor vending machine here. Those broken lights kind of look like a cat face. But they look like a cartoon lion, specifically. And you see that bumper down there? We are starting to really get into the nasty stuff here. Alright. Those bumpers are there to rescue us. And there's the bottomless pit. We're gonna try going up this time, I think. Also, wow, listen to those noises. The Magical Kuja. Yes, this is the 2011 version that is available on Steam, Xbox 360, and PS3. And very likely some other consoles as well. But those are the ones that I know about for sure offhand, and I failed that lean over. Yeah, I have not played the original of this before. But I do want to do that at some point. Aside, barring me picking up a Sega CD, I do know how Fusion works. That's a thing to do. Yeah, the ability to switch soundtracks is really nice, because, like I expressed earlier, both of them have their merits, and I'm doing this stage really badly. This is not this hard, but it is very tough. For reasons like over by that side wall that we've seen a couple of times. Hit the box, and I'll go into the buzzsaws, because the buzzsaw beetle is over there. Alright. No, that was a mistake, but we got away with it. Okay. Ow. No! Thanks, iframes, for letting me phase through bumpers. That's pretty classy. I may game over it just before getting this boss. This level does not mess around. That little room is one of the hardest things in a 2D Sonic. Nice bumper. There. No, I had it. Well, I think at the very least we get to restart from there because of this. Yeah, I know that was like that was rude. That was just not nice. But thankfully we get to just restart here. I'm digging this track though. I forgot how good this was. Ow. Do that better, please. I forgot those break. Why? Why, Sega? Why were you so evil in the 90s? No! Dang it. This is gonna be like that one block in the fire trial in Ganon's Tower. Where I just have to time it properly and I'm never gonna get it because I'm gonna keep disrupting my own rhythm. Ow. I was close, I was getting there. That's the thing. I was doing pretty well until now. What? Wow, that was just rude. This might be a little unfortunate. The only downside is that you do have to spend all this time getting back here. There we go. Alright, there's a bit more gimmickry up here. We got this rotating thing. And we have to go back through to get onto the other side. The spike wall turns around. And we even get a mini boss here. Ow. This thing is really annoying because this timing is pretty thin. And now we get two of them. So yeah, this is the sort of mini boss aspect here. Ow. Gotta remember, you only need one ring. Unfortunately, I don't even have that. Right. Go lower! I said lower! Come on! Oh, this is, really now? That's like you got killed by somebody's handgun recoil levels of terrible. Wow. No, dang it. Dang it. Get through there? Yes. Shield. Alright. Dodge spike wall. Grab the 2 rings for minimal good reason. It's to get that spike wall to move over a little more. Alright. Lower. I really wonder if there's some way... Come on! You and I both know that that's just rude. What? Thank you, stick. My iframes ran out sooner than I expected. I'm not gonna say early, because that may not necessarily be true. Lower. Lower, please. Gold shards, jeez. How is it? Wow, that thing is absolutely diabolical. And here we go, it's time for the final boss. This is a thing where you have to take hits, basically, if I remember correctly. Otherwise, it's a lot of waiting around, maybe. But we're gonna do this the way we abuse iframes. As you can see, Robotnik has these big fan blades. I think we might be able to hit him there if we were in place properly, but we were not. Okay. Stop for a second. Not that I need Robotnik to stop, but it would make things easier. I think. Okay, come on, just come down. There we go. We actually ended up in a position where Robotnik would let us get a hit in without having to take damage first. Now the fan blades turn horizontal and start coming down, buddy. There we go. One left, and I think he starts going to a pogo pattern. Some description here. Okay, so it's just wait a while to not have to abuse iframes. Okay. I don't think I've ever beaten this boss that way, by the way. Gotcha! One of the very few final bosses in any platformer that I can think of that gets easier as it goes. But I will accept it anyway, and we get ourselves an ending. It's some good old, slightly 80s style animation. A lack of vocals because of copyright issues. Oh, they kept the ones in the rest of the songs. Maybe it was just impossible to take those out. And Robotnik escapes with the time stone, or 2, or probably 6, because I only got 1. Oh, he's trying. He's trying. I think he got him. Ish. Maybe he just got Metal Sonic. Well, either way, that was Sonic CD. Well, a run-through of the original Sonic CD. Not the original. Not the original at all. Just a run-through to the end of Sonic CD. We did not get all the time stones. We did not get a good future in any of the zones. Actually, we got a good future in a couple. Well, yeah, we got a good future in a couple zones. We didn't get a good future in any of the rounds, though. I gotta remember the nomenclature for this game because it's a little wonky. I have no idea why it was like that, by the way. And overall, this is, despite some parts of this being really hard and kind of frustrating, this probably is my favorite classic Sonic game of the era from before they started going 3D and stuff. Yeah, this is a weird one for sure. I mean, it is a very close fight with regard to the 4 original platformers. I think it probably would go Sonic CD, then Sonic 2, then Sonic 3, then Sonic 1. Sonic 1 being a very good proof of concept, but a little embryonic compared to what came later. Sonic 3 ends up in 3rd place because a lot of levels are just too long. Especially when you throw and Knuckles on there, which I'm kind of counting Sonic 3 as Sonic 3, Sonic and Knuckles, and Sonic 3 and Knuckles. So sort of the compilation of Sonic 3, as it were. Sandopolis Zone in particular is pretty infamous for that, and not a fan of that. Hydro City 2 is a little bit the Sonic 3 Extended Universe. Yes, that is exactly what we're going to call it. I will absolutely, by the way, play I will absolutely play all of the original Sonic games on Sega cartridges at some point or another. I believe I'm only missing Sonic 3 in terms of carts, but otherwise, I definitely have all of them. As for a Savior of the Planet run, I have made a serious attempt, but I've never actually pulled it off. This game, I'm not good. I'm not great at it. I'm not really good at a lot of platformers, but this one, some parts just screw me up a little too much. Could be worse, could be a 3D platformer. I am a complete mess at those. But that said, I'd like to thank everybody who came out to watch this stream. It was much shorter than I usually do, but again, thank you all for the support and everything. I will be back probably Friday, if I had to guess. Friday seems like a good estimate because I'm busy tomorrow and I'm busy on Thursday. I've got a dental appointment on Thursday. So until then, see you guys later. Have fun. I'm not sure what we'll be playing next. Thank you.